stages. At first, I thought it was kind of ridiculous. Um, the idea of him running for office, I thought it was sort of like a joke again, like the Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton jokes in the past. Um, and then I read The Audacity of Hope, and I saw his interview at Google headquarters in California. And at that point, I think I was he had great ideas, a different outlook sometimes on different situations. Like he would just come to his conclusion in a sort of a different way, and I liked his way. I liked the fact that he was young, he's energetic. He represented uh, he sort of represented the younger generation a little more than the older generation.
I really felt like a lot of the Democrats, especially in the primaries, agreed on 95% of what they were talking about. But I really felt that it was sort of, the absence of leadership that was really the separating factor. And what I saw in Barack Obama was somebody who, one, he was, I think before and during the campaign, I don't know if I was necessarily like a one-issue person. Like, I sort of see there's so many things that need tackling that I don't think we can afford to just focus on one. And I think the president.
Um, Also, but when the primary started up, I was a fan from just the charisma he had, the issues the platforms he was supporting. Felt a lot of my agenda. Um, again, with the biggest issue that I had was with the way the war was going on. I just had friends over there. I used to be in the military. I worked with people that went over there, and I wish they didn't have to. I thought it was being done wrong. I thought people weren't listening to the country. So with what he said and what he plans with what's going on, really um, fit me the best.
After he became president, I thought he started off better than I could have expected. Uh, from the signing of the Lou Ledbetter Act to saying that he's going to close Gitmo in 100 days, to the proposal, the whole thing going on with him and the Iraqi Prime Minister or President about the closing, getting the troops out of Iraq by 2016, is that right, 2016? 2011, I'm sorry, that's not the dates. To, what else? The the whole thing that happened with the bailouts of the banking industry and the auto industry and all of that. I thought that he was put in that situation, and Democratic and Republican consultants on both sides agreed that, or economists maybe, agreed that this was the only thing possible, so I didn't think of it as much as a partisan thing because they all went through. And then now with the healthcare, I thought that he didn't own it as he did the bailouts and the other initiatives that he took forth on his first couple months or whatever in office. I felt like he kind of took a back step to that and was trying to let Congress do their job. Unfortunately, that didn't really work out as planned, and I was really happy that he came back and decided to take control of the issue and say, this is now my problem. If it doesn't go through, then it'll be my problem, which I mean, it was his problem from the beginning. Because if you're the president, no matter what happens, if you like it or not, if it's your problem or not, it becomes your problem because you're the president. People are going to blame you for it, and so you might as well just own it, because if not, it'll own you. So I thought he's done a better job at owning the healthcare issue. I think there are some things that I think he's too nice. He's too bipartisan. He tries too hard to reach out to the other side that doesn't want to help him. I say cut him loose and go with his base and convince those people that he's the real deal.
I would give him an A-. I think. I think he's done, all things considered, I mean, let's consider he came into one of the toughest presidencies likely that this country's ever going to face. I mean, he's seeing 2 wars are happening when he comes into office. The economy is in shambles. You know, healthcare premiums are rising 4 times faster than wages. Like, there's a lot of things to tackle, and on top of that, like, these are things that we haven't worked. Like, these are things that haven't been touched, that haven't been tackled for decades and decades. So. Everything he's done so far, I think, has been great. From, you know, passing the Lilly Ledbetter Act to, you know, the stimulus package. I agree with all of that. You know, they started to tackle energy reform, and I think that's something we're probably going to see later in the year. And especially healthcare. I think these are things that need to be done, and I think he really has done a great job so far. Maybe my one critique might be that perhaps the administration didn't foresee that opposition to all of this would be so intense as we're seeing now. But I think we've seen in the last month the administration, especially Barack Obama, has really done a much better job of trying to describe to, like, the American people what healthcare reform really means, and I hope that's something he's going to continue to do throughout the presidency.
I like the way with what's going on in Iraq. I like the fact that he's pulling soldiers out of Baghdad, which was huge, huge. They had a huge festival, and I don't think there was any, at the time, there was no suicide bombs on that day, which was huge. You know, the first time since 2003. The fact that they proposed to close down Gitmo in 100 days was also huge. I thought that was a great thing. There's one issue with what's going on in Afghanistan right now. People forget about that a lot. It's finally coming to more attention. Hopefully that can be situated, because back in 2003, it took maybe 6-7 months to get rid of the Taliban, and now it's taken them 6 years to come back in, and reports are showing that there's a high influence of Taliban soldiers in Afghanistan, so hopefully that can come back and do it the right way, do it the way it should have been done back in 2003, I think.
Politico, Daily Kos. I read the Huffington Post. I look at a lot of Media Matters, different videos they put up, MSNBC.
I read a lot of blogs like, you know, Daily Kos. I read a lot of progressive blogs, Politico. I look at MSNBC, CNN, all that kind of stuff. I also watch MSNBC, CNN. I watch Fox from time to time, The Daily Show, The Colbert Report, which ironically, you know, provide a much better snapshot of the news than you see on other channels.
Well, I get the most information I watch is from the big three networks: CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Some I watch more than others. I know CNN.com. I'm on there every day. MSNBC, MSN. I'm on there somewhat. Fox.com or Fox News. With their website, I'm really never on there. And also, you know, the Daily Show, Colbert Report is one of the most watched news shows on TV, and I'm one of the people that watch them. But I don't take, you know, all of it too seriously. I mean, the sound bites they use are actually what people said. So I listen to that soundbite, and I don't take the commentary from Jon Stewart too wholeheartedly. You know, he's not a credited news journalist. But as far as Wolf Blitzer, Anderson Cooper, people on Fox, people on NBC, they are credited news journalists, so I do listen to them. As far as blogs, I've just had bad experiences with blogs with people not being credited. To me, being credited is the most important thing there is. If not, it's going to be, you know, a Wikipedia, in my opinion.